You're watching K34QB, Vail, Colorado.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Thursday morning for Good Morning Vail here on TV8. I'm your host, Liz. We have some great guests today, a little bit of photography, find out about the kids' future, and so much more. Wonderful interviews. So get ready, sit back, and enjoy, because Good Morning Vail on TV8 starts right now. It was a beautiful Thursday morning, taking the drive here to TV8 Vail, the beautiful sky, the sunset, and the fluffy clouds. Let's see what it's going to look like today. As of 8 a.m., 58 degrees. Your high today is 79. We only have a 20% chance of precipitation with partly cloudy skies. As we take a look at the full day, partly cloudy throughout the day, so that'll keep us cool a little bit. By noon, 75. By 4 p.m., 76. By 8 p.m., 68, and partly cloudy. Taking a look at the I-70 corridor right now in Eagle, only a 20% chance of precipitation. A hot day at 86 degrees. In Vail, 79 and 20% chance of rain. In Denver, finally cooling off over there, 69 degrees and 70% chance of precipitation. And in Avon, 20% chance of precipitation and 83 degrees. Taking a look at the overnight low tonight is 55. Only a 20% chance of rain overnight. Partly cloudy skies. And your sun tonight will set at 8:11 p.m. As we look at the week, we're going to expect lots of rain and thunderstorms throughout the entire week. By tomorrow, 60% chance of precipitation. Afternoon thunderstorms, 72 degrees for your high and 52 for your low. By Saturday, 40% chance of afternoon thunderstorms, 75 degrees for your high and 54 for your low. 73 for your high on Sunday with a 50% chance of rain. 52 is your low. On Monday, we still continue on with the rain at 60% chance of same. 72 is your high and 51 degrees is your low. And then on Tuesday, we still have a high chance of precipitation at 50%. 73 degrees is your high and 51 degrees is your low. That is a look at your weather for the entire week and today right here on Good Morning Vail on TV8.
Good Morning Vail.
Stevie Lee Woods presents Nashville Roadhouse Live, where country meets rock and roll.
It's where I drank my first beer, where I found Jesus. When I wrecked my first car, I tore it all to pieces. Join us every week for more live performances right here on Nashville Roadhouse Live.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Hi there. Are you ready to explore famous neighborhoods from New York City to Kentucky? Watch The Neighborhood with host Nicole Newman. Featuring famous people, unique history, and delicious places to eat and drink. Our viewers get an inside personal look at each neighborhood. With each episode we learn, grow, laugh, and live like a local, not just a visitor. Welcome to The Neighborhood. Check your local program schedule and tune in.
Welcome back to your Thursday edition of Good Morning Vail here on TV8. I'm your host, Liz. Listen to this. It is National Pickleball Day. If you haven't tried pickleball, it's so much fun. It's a neat experience for everybody, and people of all ages can play pickleball. We have an experience that we had for an interview to find out all about pickleball and why it is so popular. Let's take a look and see what's going on with National Pickleball Day and the newest fun sport.
I have with me Mindy Feldham and Melissa McDermott. And as we've been discussing, pickleball is the rage. And the reason why we're talking about it today is that people know going into the winter season about the availability and how to. But before we get into the specifics of where to play, let's talk a little bit about the basics of the game. I look at it as that it's racquetball meets ping pong on a tennis court with a wiffle ball like ball. And so, Mindy, tell us a little bit more about the basics of the game.
Well, the court is 44 feet by 20 feet, which is small. And so you have obstacles that are the net and the lines and your opponents. And the key is to keep the ball going until someone scores. Scoring is a little complicated at this time, but they are looking into changing that, which is the best news for me. Even though you probably won't get Alzheimer's if you master the scoring. Yeah, it would be nice if it got a little easier. But there's 4 people usually. You can play singles, but the majority of the courts are filled with 4 people, and that's the nice thing about pickleball. You can put about 4 pickleball courts in one tennis court. So 16 people can be playing as opposed to 4. So as far as land use and things like that, it's just better for communities to put in probably more pickleball courts than tennis courts so more people can enjoy it. But really it's just getting the ball over and scoring, and it's a blast.
One of the things that you just mentioned was around the changing rules around scoring. One of the things that I have found is that since the sport is evolving and evolving extraordinarily fast by all the statistics I mentioned earlier, I do find that every year that there is some type of change happening. What's the best way for people to keep on top of changing rules?
Well, what's nice is if you go to YouTube, if there's new changes such as the drop serve, which was an incredible change for a lot of people because they struggled with just trying to hit the ball out of the air and get it in. You can just go on YouTube and type on New Rules 2023, and usually there's several videos that explain it and show it.
Interesting. All right, I need to go back to YouTube because I definitely need to learn how to improve my serve. And I am a student of Mindy's. I just haven't had the chance to spend a lot of time with her yet. That's my goal next spring. Melissa, you're new to the game.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the basics from your perspective and how you have learned.
Right. I was just going to say that those are really good points, but if you're new to the sport or you're thinking about just trying it, don't be put off by thinking that it's going to be really complicated. I'm not going to know. It's played with 4 people, and then there's usually, if you're dropping in, people on the sidelines to help explain things when you're waiting. And you can kind of watch other people play, and there's always someone who knows how to keep score, who can help if you just ask for help. That was my experience. I did play paddle, which is a different sport, so it had to do with a racket. So I feel like in that way I was able to pick it up a little more quickly. But it's pretty, I felt like it was pretty simple as far as where to put the ball, how to do it, and just kind of fast-paced, fun, easy to pick up and have a good time right away, which is also key. So it's a very accessible sport. I would just stress the accessibility for all levels, all ages.
Yes.
You know, even if you're having a little back trouble, just get out there and play a couple games. You know, you can always sit on the sidelines and watch a bit if you're not feeling well, but it's fun right away for everyone. So there are a few rules or a few things that you have to learn, but it shouldn't put you off trying this sport.
It's interesting you say about the accessibility because in preparation for this episode, I noticed that I watched a CBS episode specific to pickleball, and the experts on that show had talked about the fact that it is extremely accessible. All you need is the racket and the ball, which you'll find in most of the venues in the Vail Valley. They'll even let you borrow them. It's inexpensive, as we'll talk briefly just about fees that may be involved. It's very social. You don't have to be incredibly fit. As I think if you want to be good at this sport, you don't have to be incredibly fit like you do with tennis, so to speak. And it's for all ages. I mean, Melissa, you're a great example of what you're doing with your family and the fact that it's for all ages. So I agree. I didn't mean that the basics are scary in any way, shape, or form. It really is an extraordinarily fun game that I actually play in my sleep right now.
So, and it's addictive.
And it's addictive, right?
Highly addictive.
Yes.
Yeah. Matter of fact, they use the word cultish on that CBS segment that I just watched the other day. But let's focus a little bit about preventative measures. I said it's safe, but Mindy, you're the expert here. Let's talk a little bit about preventative measures and to avoid injury.
Well, I brought 2 shoes. I'm a visual learner. I was listening to a podcast by Ben Johns, who is the #1 player in the world. He's age 23, and he was talking about shoes. And this is a running shoe. And so a good test, if you have a good shoe, is if you can bend it this easy, it is not a good shoe. This is actually a Babylon.
Did you know that, Melissa?
I did not know that. I knew that you had to have a good sturdy shoe.
Well, that's a good test.
Right.
When you go to bend this, you can't bend it because you have lateral supports here. This is actually Babolat. I have no connection with them other than I love their shoe. And also Ben Johns happens to wear the Babolat.
Okay.
Yeah. He suggests that you stick to a tennis shoe or a court shoe. But if you want to be really safe, a tennis shoe, they've been designing shoes for...
Sorry, tennis as in the sport of tennis,
yes,
rather than just a general
this is
tennis
technically
shoe.
a tennis shoe. And how you know usually is that you've got this little thing here, a little decrease. But and you can get these online. But I have talked to several people that have pulled their Achilles tendon wearing hiking shoes, running shoes, and
you don't want to wear that.
So this to me, the shoe would be the most important thing. One other important safety tip is when you're going back for a high ball of any sort.
Which happens a lot, right?
Which happens
People
a lot.
lob all the time.
Yes, it's called a lob. And you do not backpedal with your feet. You stop and you turn and you move in the direction of your feet. And then safety for eyes is important if you're playing competitive or you're playing actually beginner, because beginners really don't have control of the ball. So you could get an eye injury. So they sell plastic eye gear. Wet courts, especially the town of Avon and the town of Vail, I've experienced are a trip to an ER.
Okay.
Yes.
That's great information.
Even one spot on the court that's wet, you could run into it and,
So let's shift gears real quickly too, because I want to make sure that we talk about where. So there's a lot of options in the Valley. Melissa, where is your favorite place to play right now?
The outdoor courts that they just put in at Avon are amazing. They're beautiful, and it's just a spectacular place to play.
Thank you, Mindy.
Yes, I've only been able to go there a couple of times after the summer, but beautiful. Other than that, I've only played in the Edwards Rec Center, the field house, which they aren't the best surface because it's a basketball sort of court that they set 2 pickleball nets on. But it's just a nice place to play in the mornings. It's indoor, and the yearly membership is super, super reasonable. There is a fee for drop-in, but the yearly membership is just like almost nothing. So that's nice. And then the Avon Elementary School drop-in the evenings, because you get even a better mix of levels, like more upper levels play and a little better mix.
So, Mindy, let's just very briefly, just mention the other towns that also have pickleball. Maybe if we go from west to east, you'd mentioned Gypsum has indoor and outdoor as well.
Yeah, Gypsum has an excellent one of the best indoor-outdoor programs that I know of, especially indoor. They have all levels, and they start out the first hour, everyone mixed together, and then after that hour, you go into your levels, which is not found in a lot of places. Robin and Jerry Santoro, they're regional ambassadors of pickleball with the United States Pickleball Association. They do an incredible job there.
So from Gibson, then we go Edwards. We talked about the Edwards Rec Center, and that is indoors.
It's Edwards Field House.
Field House,
they
thank
call
you.
it that.
And then from Edwards, we go into Avon, which we have indoor at the elementary school and then outdoor at the beautiful courts that you helped create there as well. Eagle Vail also has outdoor courts as well. And as you're educating me, Golden Peak in Vail, as well as, and those are both for outdoor. And the indoor courts in Vail are at the Red Sandstone Elementary School as well.
Yes, there are 4 courts there, and Jerry does an excellent job with drop-in in the winter.
Great. Well, ladies, thank you so much. I'm so grateful for your time. And this is a new passion of mine, so hopefully you learned a little bit, know where to go, find some information.
Good morning, Vail.
This is Necklace. This easy-to-use, non-surgical alternative improves the appearance of sagging skin around your neck and jawline. Made from medical-grade tape, Necklace lasts up to 10 hours, giving you a firmer, smoother look all day long. Women everywhere are thrilled with the results.
Necklace is my time machine, and I'm loving life again.
Necklace is way better than surgery. It's cheaper and it's easier.
Use the on-screen QR code or visit sagnomore.com to order now. We even give you a money-back guarantee. Try Necklace today.
We are here at Rugs Benedict in Avon with one of the owners, Mandy Benedict. Mandy, how are we doing today?
Fantastic. Great morning.
And today we are talking about waterproof flooring, which is so important out here in the Rocky Mountains, whether you're winter skiing, snowboarding, and you got wet boots, or in the summer and you're playing outside. But waterproof flooring, tell me about it.
So it's really fantastic for our busy mountain lifestyle. And like you mentioned, whether it's ski boot traffic, a rental area, or if you just have some furry friends that like to go play in the creeks and run into the house, it's a great option for having that beautiful wood floor look, but having something that's not so sensitive to moisture.
Definitely, and this is obviously great for kind of one of those entrance rooms or a mud room, or also just an entire house made with this, right?
Yeah, we definitely have been doing entire homes with this floor. If you have, big dogs, they're very, very scratch resistant as well. So if you have things like whether big dogs or kids, heavy traffic, like I mentioned, great for rental environments or just busy mountain lifestyles where you don't want to have to kind of be a slave to your floor. This is very durable.
Definitely, and we have so many options here and different warranties that come with each one, but let's take a look at some of these, right?
Yeah, so really any color that you're looking for, any style. If you want a reclaimed look, if you want a marble look, if you're looking for just a really sleek European oak or a walnut floor, we have anything that will, look like wood or look like stone and tile that we can do with this waterproof flooring.
Yeah, and it all looks so beautiful here in the shop in Avon at Rugs Benedict. What do people need to know about waterproof flooring?
The waterproof flooring, there are quite a few different things as far as like sound abatement. We work with a lot of condo associations. There are specific underlayments that you need to use and installation requirements. So our in-house employee installers are amazing at that, but we come out and do free estimates. So basically anything you need to know, our flooring design team and our estimators will clue you in on everything perfect for your property.
I love that. Rugs Benedict, so much more than rugs. All your flooring needs here. Anything else I should ask? Anything else people should know about waterproof flooring?
Just come in and explore, see all the options that there are.
Come on down to Rugs Benedict here in Avon and check out your next flooring project.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. As promised, I have some great guests with me today. And today I have two special people sitting next to me, Beck, that's right, and Heather. You all are from Unbound, which is a really cute little school. Is it a school or a camp or both?
It's a school.
Okay.
We are running an entrepreneur camp right now, though, that's been so exciting for just community youth, getting ready to gear up for our children's business fair.
Yeah, we got to get into that because it's really interesting that you have a children's business fair. But first of all, you're located in Edwards, in Riverwalk. I walk my dog, I walk by you guys all the time, and I've always been curious because of the name and the way you have it written and everything, and I always see these happy children running in and out. How did this school, how did it form, and what made you guys create this space?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. It came about really organically. Cassie Boca, our other co-founder, she and I met literally chasing boys on bikes at the pump track. And we both kind of had a unique vision for our own children. And so we just collaborated together, and Unbound came about, and last year was our first year with our first group of kindergartners.
It was really sweet to see it open up, and I see all these little kids running around, and you get the park right there, you have the river. You guys can do all kinds of explorations and just really get into the nature of things while you're there as well.
Yes, we spend a lot of time outside, and we've kind of switched the narrative of traditional learning where we spend a lot of time outside and then they're ready to come inside for their core skills and do their more academic stuff.
I love that. It's a great way to stimulate them and then get them ready to focus.
100%.
I like that. Well, it looks like you caught a boy because you had a boy, and this is Beck over here. What's going on, Beck?
Well, my business fair, it's like kind of a little store. I'm selling a lot of things.
Oh, yeah? Well, let me ask you a question. At your age, what kind of business do you want to explore?
I mean, I'm selling a lot of things, so I might make a lot of money.
Oh my God, I love this kid. This is the best. You are so cute. I love you already. This is great. So you want to look forward to making some money in your life and having a nice, happy existence. Do you know what you want to be as far as a profession yet, or is this why you have the business fair, so you can explore all the different avenues?
I mean, all that great stuff out there is like, I need money to buy it, so I need to have a good business fair.
I love it. So it's his business fair that we have going on.
He's a big part of the business fair.
Are
so
you
Beck
running
was
it?
a part last year too.
I love that, Beck. So what do you expect happening? What do you expect to happen?
Like, I expect there's going to be a lot of great people out there working so hard and making a lot of money. I just hope they get enough money.
Something tells me money is in this kid's future. You're adorable. I think you're wonderful. I'm going to ask your mom a couple of questions. Explain to me, so a business fair for kids.
Yeah.
First, let's talk about when it is and where it's taking place.
Sure.
It's right in Edwards at the Vail Valley Pharmacy, in that lovely area on the parking lot in the grassy area, correct?
Yes, right by Craftsman and First Bank and the pharmacy. There's a big grassy area there. And we had over 40 entrepreneurs, local children, apply for the business fair, which was just so amazing to see the motivation in Eagle County. And we could accept 28 just due to spacing.
Right.
So we'll have some big yellow Easy Up tents and an Unbound flag that'll be flying too, so it will be easy to find for sure. And they all had to come up with a business plan to submit an application. It's free for anyone that wanted to. It was just a matter of who got their applications in first. And yeah, they came up with a name for their business and kind of their startup costs and how they were going to get that money, and if they were going to have to repay someone, how much did it cost to produce their material versus how much were they going to sell. So it's a really well-oiled machine.
It's amazing. It's remarkable. What are the age groups?
5 to maybe 11 or 12.
Oh my goodness. Okay, when I was between 5 and 11, I was playing jacks.
I know.
You know, I wasn't thinking about my feet, but times have changed and kids are smarter and they're really more ready to look forward to what's going to be. Now, I know that they're still all kids and they still all act like kids and they have a great time, but they seem to have a little bit more in their minds like the future, and that's very intriguing. Have you heard of any of the special professions that the kids want to be? Let me hear.
So we have someone that's going to do like hair tinsel. We have someone that's doing like a slime factory. We have little tie-dyed neckerchiefs and bookmarks.
Oh my gosh.
We have someone that is going to wash bike tires and car tires.
Wow.
Beck, do you want to talk about what your business is?
Yeah, let's hear yours.
I'm selling like a lot of things like popcorn, art, shrinky things, melty meats, and sun catchers.
Wow, that's a lot. Do you make these things?
Yeah, it took me like 7 days.
That's it?
No, I mean like for the melty meats, like 20.
What's a melty meat?
It's like little hole thingies that you like put on it, and like you can make anything out of them.
Wow, kind of. So in my day we had silly putty. Is it like silly putty?
Not exactly. They're not like little eggies, but they are like little circles.
Okay, I got you.
They're little rubber beads that you touch with an iron, and
Oh.
it creates an image, and he turned them into keychains.
Wow, that's really cool. So
Yes.
you already have an inventive mind, huh?
Yeah, if I brought in my backpack, then I can like show you what it looks like.
Did you bring your backpack?
Yeah, it's in the car. But
Oh, well, that's not going to do me any good right now. Well, this is amazing. You have a lot of creativity in your mind. And what do you see ahead, even like in the next 10 years for the future?
I mean, like, what's my next business fair?
Yeah, of course. I want to hear your next plan. I mean, you're all over it.
Well, we haven't really decided just yet, but maybe I can like run bookmark factory or clean cars.
Oh my goodness. So you really do have a great head for business and you have so many great ideas. This is amazing. Are you excited?
Yeah, like a little nervous, but really excited.
But that's okay to be nervous because that's called passion. You have a passion for what you do, and that's why you have a little bit of nerves because it's just excitement. And so that's a good thing. And what made you guys come up with the kids fair? I mean, are you just looking ahead because kids look ahead?
Yeah, and I think it really ties nicely with Vail Valley Unbound, the school that we
Right.
are currently offering in Eagle County, and encouraging entrepreneurships and really just a creative mind and a growth mindset, and just knowing that anything's possible if you continue.
I think it's amazing. Is there something different about the school that differs from all the other schools?
Well, I think that Eagle County hosts so many amazing educational opportunities, and there's so many fantastic schools, and you know, Cassie and I just kind of had a different vision.
Okay.
And I think for us, the biggest modification that we've tried to execute is just extinguishing the idea that a learner needs to learn X, Y, and Z when they're 5 or in kinder or first or second,
Oh, I like
and just
that.
creating a platform for them to grow as they naturally are with their academics. And we have a mixed age group, so this year we'll be hosting learners that are between 5 and 7, so it'll be in traditional words like a K1 blend, but we
Mhm.
really just honor them where they are with their academics and a lot of
Love that.
yeah
I
materials.
now I understand the name Unbound because there are no boundaries for these children, and you guys get to really explore and expand the minds of these kids. And I am just really excited about this whole experience. So it's only been a year that you've been there?
Yeah.
It feels like longer because I always pass you guys, and so that's
Sure.
you're right next to Mountain Pride almost. You're right
Yes.
in the little corner
I
area.
actually office out of Mountain Pride.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. And they're wonderful people
Oh
as
my
well.
gosh, Maddie's
What
amazing.
I love Maddie.
Yeah.
And she's been on TV8 a bunch of times as well. And do you ever get kids that are curious or anything like that as children? That you deal with that, or
Nope,
no,
not yet.
Not yet. Which is great because you know that I feel like this is the perfect place for them where they won't feel separate or anything. They'll just feel welcome and wonderful and accepted, and I think that's a beautiful thing.
I think just education in general should welcome all. you
That's what
know?
I say.
And
Yeah.
they're flourishing for sure.
So you still have the same regular programs as far as academics go, like they learn English and literature and things like that, or is it just for the youngers where they just learn how to explore and expand their minds and be creative?
Well, so we will be K through 5. We
Okay.
only opened with kindergarten
Nice.
last year. This year, kind of a 5 through 7 model. Like every successful business in the county, even in the world, right? You bite off what you can chew.
Yes, exactly.
So we're taking this slow and steady because
you.
we really want it to make a difference and be impactful and be perfect.
Well, I think you guys are already making an impact. How do you feel about all the kids you get to play with every day?
I mean, it is a lot to handle because everybody like wants me. Like it's like there's not like 10 of me. So like,
Oh, so you have to spread yourself a little thin.
yes.
But do you feel like you're making a difference with all your
Yes.
friends and the kids?
Yeah, it feels comfortable with all my friends, and I just hope they'll always be with me.
Oh, that's so special. Well, you can make that happen. You know, you can make lifelong friendships and keep them in your life forever, no matter where you end up in life. You can always carry along in your heart with all your friends, right?
Yeah.
And do you feel like you do a little bit of help for everybody? Do you help?
Yes.
Yeah?
Because like when everybody needs me, I just say, I'll like play with you tomorrow, and like I'll figure it out.
Okay, I feel like I have our new presidential candidate in about 40 years because you are amazing. What a great kid. You've done a great job with
Oh
Beck.
my gosh, let's not get some wood.
Yeah, that's not wood, so
Okay,
you're
oh my
not
goodness.
doing yourself any favors. So what else how do people reach out to you guys?
Yeah.
Are you still taking kids?
For the school, yes.
Yes.
So our in-house capacity for this next year would be 20 learners, and we are still enrolling. So if anyone was interested in learning more about Vail Valley Unbound, they could reach out to us via our website.
Okay, and what's that?
VailValleyUnbound.org.
That's easy.
Yes, it is easy, and I would be happy to meet up for coffee or chit-chat, give someone a tour. Again, ages 5 through 7. We do have a few spaces. And then this weekend, the business fair is from 9 to noon.
Nice.
And Edwards, yep, over
It's
by
going to
the
be a lot of
pharmacy.
fun. You guys got to go check it out. It's right around the Vail Valley Pharmacy area. And we do have to wrap it up. But Beck, do you have any advice for the kids in the future before you go?
Well, just good luck for everybody and make that money.
I love you so much. Thank you so much for
Thank
being here
you,
from
Liz.
Vail Valley Unbound. It's an amazing school. They do have their kids' professional fair coming up, so make sure you get over there this weekend in Edwards. I can't thank you guys enough for being here. Heather and Beck McMahon. Beck, say goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye.
Thank you so much for being here. You
Thank
guys
you,
do a
Liz.
wonderful thing for our future. Thank you
you.
very much.
Bye-bye.
That's Beck and Heather. Now I'm putting him, he gets first billing, over from Vail Valley Unbound in Edwards. We'll be right back with more Good Morning Vail right after here. Or this.
Good morning, Vail.
It's time for the best coverage of the top stories in sports. The Sports Wrap with Jason Page starts now.
How do you make Anthony Edwards the face of your franchise if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves? We'll get into that. And we say hello to our good friend Matt Verderam, who hangs out with us from SI.com. Their NFL insider, one of them, is hanging out with us on the program today. Did you see Caitlin Clark last night? She put up a 40-burger, hits the game-winning three as time expires. Let's turn our attention to the Denver Broncos, one of the NFL's most dysfunctional situations.
The Sports Wrap with Jason Page. From small towns to big cities and everywhere in between, we're covering the great things that are happening right now in the USA. This is Positively America with Ernie Anastas.
Each week, we're going to focus on the great things that are happening every day in the USA. We'll feature change makers.
In every older person, there's a younger person saying, how did this happen?
Innovators.
I talk about design the way some people might talk about like the person they're in love with.
Doers and dreamers.
You can use that recognition to pay it forward.
Ordinary Americans accomplishing extraordinary things.
When you smile, you receive one back most of the time.
We're going to prove to you that optimism and hope are paving the way to an even brighter tomorrow.
We've got a lot of programs that are specifically focused on the children of our fallen heroes.
At Positively America, our mission is to feature good news.
For the latest and greatest trends in pop entertainment, Popstar Today brings you compelling celebrity lifestyle stories that matter most to you. From movies, music, TV, and streaming shows, to fashion, social media influencers, and the latest on who is seeing who. Join host Elizabeth Stanton as she digs deep and dives in. This is Popstar Today.
It's a very busy morning here on Good Morning Vail on TV8. I'm your host, Liz, and now we have somebody even amazing, another amazing human being with me right now. It's Olga Barron. Hi, Olga.
Hi, how are you, Liz?
I'm great. Thank you for being here this morning. I don't know if you can follow Beck. He was
I know,
pretty,
he's a pretty tough act to follow.
What a smart
That's
kid.
an amazing kid.
I know, that was
Absolutely.
amazing. And I can see the future is alive. And speaking of the future, I know that you have a great future ahead of you. I met you when you were doing a pet portrait contest here in the community maybe a year ago. I don't even think it was a full year ago.
No, it was this February.
Yeah, see, I don't know what's happening anymore. So, Olga, you have been a local photographer for how long here?
About 10 years.
10 years. So you obviously don't only photograph pets, as you can see around us. These are amazing photographs. Tell us all about your business and why you thrive so well here in the Valley.
Well, I'm what you would call a boutique family portrait photographer.
Okay.
And I do consider your pets as part of your family.
Well, so do I.
I know you do. I love that. And what I do is a full service portrait photography where it involves everything from the very first consultation, because it's really important for me to create artwork that decorates your home.
Oh.
And so it's artwork with your family at the heart of it. So people that matter to you most are on your walls, so you're very happy every time you come into a room, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm not one of those photographers where it takes a whole bunch of photos and just dumps a bunch of files on you and those files disappear. I literally go for the final products, like these pieces here. So, we have a family, we have a bunch of cousins, which is, the cousins are right here. This is part of my generational product, meaning I get a whole big family, grandparents, all the different kids, their kids together.
Oh, look at that. Look at those precious faces. How do you get kids to sit still? I mean, Beck did a great job, but I'm just curious, when you have 1, 2, 3, you have 6 children there, how do they all sit still?
What I usually try to do in a generational portrait is I try to go for the big portrait where you have the whole family together first. And while I'm actually setting up the lights, I try to get to know the kids. And so to me, I try to gauge the personalities. Obviously, if I had a chance to meet the kids at the consultation before, that's better. That's not always the case, when they're from out of town.
Right.
Like grandma and grandpa live here and everybody comes to visit, right?
Oh my
It's a great
goodness.
thing to do, right?
Oh God, isn't it?
But I do figure out which one's the hardest in terms of sitting still, so I place them last.
I gotcha.
And,
look at those faces.
And sometimes you can't. Like there's a little child that is just so shy, uncomfortable being separated from their mama or daddy. I will put the mama or daddy behind them underneath and Photoshop them out.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Who knew? Look at all these creative little crafty ideas. I love it though. So now we understand how sometimes you got to keep them still or whatever.
Well, it's really important that they're happy because it's really not just about the final product. The final product reflects the experience. So for me, it's really important that it's fun.
Yes.
Like the family has fun. And it's anywhere from a family of 5 or a family of 30.
Wow,
So
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, I like the idea of the aspen trees. I know you do both indoor and outdoor
Yep.
photography, but the aspen trees is just so beautiful and it just blends that family together. And since the aspen trees are family too, it's just like this grounded, rooting
all
thing to
connected
see.
underneath.
Oh, gives me such a great feeling for that. That's really, really nice. What made you decide to photograph families?
Families. My mom.
Aww.
And I'll be honest, I lost my mom this past Mother's Day.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, honey.
Thank
you. Are you gonna be okay?
I am okay. I'm okay.
Aw.
I had my whole family there with me. My identical twin lives in the UK. Her whole family came. We all came. We were all together. And my mom, she was my rock. She was the strongest person I ever knew. She helped so many people. You could write a book on her life. But what she did for us as kids, since we were very little, she always made sure we had portraits taken. She'd hire a photographer and it'd be us and then us and the parents. And the house was covered in these things. So at the end, when she was bedridden in the very end, my stepdad put all those portraits around her.
Oh, my heart.
And even before we got there, she had us there. She was a bit confused towards the end, but she had us there. And to me, that was so important. And I think about like the generations now where so many pictures of, of all the families and all the kids were, if they were on the walls and you could feel loved by looking at them, they're just somewhere in the ether and they disappear as technology changes, as your devices change. They just don't end up anywhere. And so to me, I've discovered that I really was good at taking pictures of people because I've had a camera in my hand since I was a teenager or maybe even younger, but it's really became a thing where I realized I want others to feel how I felt growing up.
I feel it when I look at these pictures. I really do. There's something that they come to life, and you can see it in their eyes and the sparkle and the life and the beauty and the happiness and everything.
And it is artwork because it is stuff you decorate your home with. But if you're a little bit more particular, I also have like the one back there of the grandmother and the grandson.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's a painterly. So if you want it to look like my style is impressionistic, if you would like a painting type of portrait, I do that. It is not something software does. I mean, I do it digitally, but I paint it out by, with the digital brush. It's completely creative. And then I use laminate to add extra brush strokes. So it is literally something you would buy, except it's your family at the heart of it.
Okay, looking at this picture, not only does it captivate us, but you can see the love in both their faces. You can just see the joy in the kid's eyes looking up at his grandma, and look at the love on her face. Yeah. That is just spectacular. So I was wondering how you made them look like portraits, and that is pretty amazing. So you can literally bring to life these beautiful families, because number one, when you take a picture on your phone, yeah, it's great, and you can throw it online. They lose generation, okay? All the resolution goes away, because I like to take pictures of animals on my phone all the time, and then I'll be like, oh, this last year I took this great picture, and I look at it, it's all grainy already. I'm like, wait a minute.
Well, what I recommend you do, I mean, what I do is different. I mean, what I do will go on your walls. It's a portrait, it's professional, but your snapshots on your phone are valuable too. Don't leave them all on the phone. You can't print them like this, but do print them. You could put it in some kind of frame, put it on your wall, put it on your desk, print this stuff, put it in a book. In a book, it's protected from the light.
So if it's a beautiful, worthwhile photo, you don't want to leave it in the ether.
So big where it becomes, pixelated. Where it looks grainy, as you call it.
Yeah.
Just print it. Don't let this stuff disappear. These are your memories of people.
Precious.
And when I mean people, I mean canine and feline as well, or whatever species you like. These are your family. These are your people. Print them.
They're amazing. And when I look at something like this, I get mad that I never really did anything like this, because it's spectacular, and you bring to life already the life within these people, and you just look at their face. I can't even stop staring. Look at how beautiful they look, and everybody's perfect. So do you do a little
retouching?
Yeah, a couple of retouches on those. They all look beautiful anyway.
I do more than retouching. In that picture, it's actually unique. I'll explain in a sec, but I do retouch to the degree the customer wants.
I gotcha, okay.
So if you want it to look completely natural, I'll just, on a teenager, I might give rid of a couple of pimples, or give rid of something that was
got some wrinkles for us old folk.
If you want that, I will absolutely do it to the degree you want, but I will guide you towards what looks right.
Yeah, don't look plastic.
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, unless you absolutely want to, but even, we would have a conversation.
Okay.
It's going on your wall. It needs to make you happy.
Yeah, every time you walk by, you're like, oh, no, that's me.
But I actually do a lot more with lighting too, So
oh,
even
that's
outdoors.
Perfect. Yeah,
in
you
fact,
can see you've done a great job
well,
with
that
the lighting.
one was on a golf course. So there was moments where all of us were putting lights down on the ground because
oh my gosh, that's great. Well, I mean, whatever you do, it comes out spectacular.
Thank you.
I can tell you that you feel the warmth, the kindness, the gentle feeling of all the souls in these photos. And that family, they all look alike. Everybody looks really closely alike. It's really cute. So it's really fun to see that stuff too.
Sure.
So mostly you focus on people and their pets.
I focus on families, yes.
Right.
I do high school seniors as well.
Oh, nice.
And, and engaged couples. I don't do weddings. And in fact, when I first started my business, I did weddings as well. And I realized that I tended to gravitate towards kids. So for me, it just became the family.
I'm looking on the screen right now. They are so adorable. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. So painterly portraits is basically what you were just talking about.
Yeah.
And you do a digital paintbrush over the photography.
Many layers, yeah. And then I do actual laminate brush once it's printed and put on canvas. I will add texture with a laminate with an actual brush.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. So you're an artist on top of being a photographer, even if photography is an art. That newborn baby, oh my God. And so I just saw you also do couples photos. Yep. So if you're, let's say you have an anniversary coming up and you want to do a nice portrait of the two of
Absolutely.
you, you can come
I
to
can
you.
do that, or if you're getting engaged, I don't do surprise engagements. To
Okay.
me, it's about surprise is more of like for your iPhone.
Yeah.
You know? To me, it's about the portrait that you might want to display at the wedding. You know,
Okay.
that people sign, or something you put on your wall where you're not necessarily wearing a wedding gown.
I got
you.
you.
Know, and it's all so fresh.
Yeah.
You know, it's in those first few months.
Oh my gosh.
So it's planned, right?
Right.
So it looks gorgeous on your wall. You know?
That just sounds spectacular. How do people reach out to you? Because you're like this hidden gem in our community, and I want everybody to be able to know how they reach out to you. Special occasions, family, and holidays, or anything like that.
The easiest way is to go to my website, olgabaronphotography.com.
Okay.
You can fill out a form. You can call me. You can schedule an appointment to call me if that's your modern style. I have no problem with that.
Right.
Short of sending smokestack signals, I'm around.
I
My
love
office is in the Riverwalk in Edwards.
I didn't even know you were so close to me.
Yeah.
I can't thank you enough for being here. This is Olga Barron for Olga Barron Photography. You've got to go check her out online. And as you've seen these beautiful photography pictures and the painting type of style that you have, they really do look like beautiful paintings of beautiful families. You do an amazing job. I just want to tell you how much I'm so
you.
sorry about your mama.
Thank
I know
you.
you carry
Thank
her in
you.
your heart, you and your twin sister.
Yep.
It's a beautiful thing. Capture your memories of your beautiful family, and definitely reach out to Olga Barron Photography for all of the memories to stay on your wall for a
Thank you, Liz.
lifetime. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Liz. It was fun.
Oh, it was fun. This
Yeah,
is
it's really
Olga,
fun.
everybody. Make sure you reach out to her. We'll be right back with more Good Morning Vail here on TV8.
Good morning, Vail.
Take the first game every one of us played in the schoolyard. Turn up the degree of difficulty to maximum, and then let loose some of the fastest and most agile athletes in the world to go one-on-one in what you have is the most extreme pursuit contest you've ever known. It's intense, it's addictive, and there's only one rule. Don't get caught.
If you haven't seen World Chase Tag before, here's how it works.
2 teams of up to 6 athletes compete in a series of one-on-one chases. Each chase lasts up to 20 seconds and has 1 chaser and 1 evader.
Opportunities for points on the board! Oh!
Whoever wins the duel stays on as the evader, and teams get 1 point for each evasion they make.
And it looks like the opening point for this contest.
It's the best of 16 chases to win the match, with a sudden death chase-off required to break any ties. It's win or go home from now on. Don't miss it.
Join us on the famous Leadville Railroad. This historic train ride takes you on an unforgettable trip through the heart of the Rockies for an afternoon of adventure, relaxation, and sightseeing. Our scenic train rides are a perfect place to bring families closer together while immersing them in the natural beauty and rich history of this picturesque region. Enjoy the spectacular Colorado scenery. Even meet the engineer. Make memories that will last a lifetime. Tickets available at LeadvilleRailroad.com.
Good morning, Vail.
A lot of companies don't know that they're making mistakes as they're going through the hiring process. Well, we've got the recruiter guy, the expert in the area, Bill Humbert, joining me. Bill, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me this morning.
Oh, Maddie, it's such a pleasure. I appreciate you having me on your show.
Oh, we love having you here because I feel like I get to talk to you and then everyone gets to listen to what you have to say. And I learn so much from these conversations. So the wisdom that you're spreading upon the world is wonderful.
Super, thank you.
Of course. Now, we're going to talk about why hiring manager training is so important. So why is this training so important?
You know, over my 40 plus years as a talent attraction consultant, what I've discovered is very few managers have received formal interview training to learn how to effectively interview.
Now, as they're interviewing, why is it important for them to know how to correctly conduct an interview?
Well, first of all, think about this. if you haven't been taught how to effectively interview, you certainly haven't been taught how to select the best qualified candidate. And secondly, sometimes managers have no clue what questions are illegal and which ones are legal. For instance, I had a manager who had newly moved from another country interview a woman candidate. This was some time ago. And the woman, when I extended an offer to her, told me some of the questions he asked. And essentially, he went down the litany, step by step by step. Are you pregnant? Are you planning on getting pregnant? How are you going to take care of the kid? I mean, he asked all the wrong questions. And I went to him and I said, all these questions that you asked, you cannot ask them in the United States. And he said, well, in my country, we're supposed to ask them. So, it's really important that companies step up and have their managers learn how to effectively interview.
And what's something that's really important for managers to remember as they're going through the interviewing process?
Maddie, what I've seen is some managers understand that building that relationship with the candidate, whether they end up hiring them or not, is very important. I had one manager say, or one candidate called, when I called them for their offer, I didn't know she liked me. I just went, oh my gosh. So it's important that they build a relationship, a positive relationship with the candidate, and that helps the candidate decide if they want to work with them.
Which is really important because this is a career, so you're making the move to take the job. You want to make sure that you like who you're working for, or else you're not going to even like showing up to work. Now, what are some great tips and tricks that people can find on your website as they're building their interviewing questions to find the best candidate?
Well, there are 8 different ways that I can structure interview questions. And, most candidates today are aware of how to respond to behavioral questions. So it's really important to mix and match and put in the questions that kind of gets them off step, off comfort, and makes them think a little bit more, and you'll get better answers that way.
Now, these are great resources that are found on your website where people can see these 8 fantastic prompts, guidelines, steps to really make sure that they're doing the best interview.
That's correct. RecruiterGuide.com, that's where they'll find them.
And now, how should a manager end an interview?
Maddie, this is very important. If the manager loves this person, and let's say the person networked their way in through somebody the manager trusts, making an offer that day is so important because good candidates have a very short shelf life. And if you wait a week, you're probably going to lose them. And I'm speaking from 40 plus years of recruiting experience. I've seen it happen so many times, and it made me cry because, well, back in the early days, I got a fee for each person who started. So it's important that the manager, if they really like that person, they get that offer out as soon as possible.
Now, if a company is worried about how their manager is conducting an interview, what's a good resource for them to get in contact with you so maybe they can go through a training session with you?
The best way is just go to recruiterguide.com, and on my home page above the fold, there's a red banner and it says Speak with Bill. Click on that, put yourself on my calendar at your convenience.
And companies can use you as a resource to help train their managers, and then maybe people can use you as a resource to help find that perfect job.
Oh, absolutely. Some people call me the candidate whisperer since I've worked with so many candidates over the years.
Bill, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, giving us all this great information, and thanks for sharing your wisdom. It's important that people know how they can best hire the best candidate.
Thank you, Maddie. It's been great.
Make sure that if you're a company who's maybe struggling to find that perfect candidate, that you have your hiring managers go through this training. That way they have the best knowledge possible as they're about to bring on your new team members. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show, so stay tuned.
Good morning, Vail.
Let's take a look at the final look for today at the weather. We are expecting a lot of rain throughout the entire week, especially today. We're going to have not as much rain as we expect for the rest of the week, but we still have a 20% chance of precipitation with partly cloudy skies by 8 a.m. 58 degrees. Your high today is 79 degrees. As we take a look at the full day, 75 by noon, 76 by 4, and then it goes down to 68 by 8 p.m. with partly cloudy skies throughout the entire day. 86 in Eagle, 79 in Vail. In Denver at 69 with a lot of rain, 70% chance, and 20% chance of rain in Avon and 83 degrees. And that is a look at your weather for the evening at 55 degrees and then 20% chance of precipitation, partly cloudy skies throughout. Remember, the fire level danger is at a medium to high today, so please be careful about that. I want to thank all of our special guests that came in today. Beck was an amazing kid, and thanks to Heather for bringing Beck along. For Unbound and their kids fair coming up this weekend, you've got to go check that out. And a big thank you to Olga Barron for bringing her photography to life here in the studio. We appreciate everybody who comes. I hope you had a great morning with us here at Good Morning Vail on TV8. I'm your host, Liz. Have yourselves a beautiful day, everybody.